Oh, I'm so excited. How to make homeschooling more fun with a cereal box. I have so much for you. I could not contain my excitement this morning because I remembered this fun idea that I did with my kids and I wanted to share it with you. So the very first thing is in the descriptions, you will find a printable, or a link that gets you the link to get you the printable to help you do this cereal activity. And it starts with this fun page. And the very first thing that you do is you take your kids to the store. You give them a minimal budget. I don't know, $3, $5. Let me see if I can fix my the height of my screen. $3 to $5. You take them to the store and you let them pick out their favorite box of cereal. Now, obviously, this is not the box that my kids would choose. They would pick one of those really sugary type cereals that we don't allow in the house. But you take them to the store and they pick out a box of cereal. That's the very first thing that you do. And you don't make a big deal about how much, whether it's good for you, not good for you. Let them choose it based on the box. The next thing you do is you take that box of cereal and you enjoy it in a unique location. Oh, you could take it down to the basement. It doesn't have to be, let me adjust this. It doesn't have to be just at your kitchen table, but you can take it anywhere that is different so that your kids get it into their heads that they're doing something unique and fun. Super important that you do that. You don't tell them it's an educational activity, right? Because that is not what great homeschoolers do. They don't let go of the secret that it's a fun activity. Shh, never use the E word when you're trying to do something fun with your kids. So you got the box of cereal and you have enjoyed it with the kids somewhere unique and random. Then every day for the next 3 days, you have the kids read the box. Okay, and that means day 1, they're just looking at it. Day 2, they're reading some of the stuff. Day 3, they start to give you quizzes on what's on the box. The idea is to become very familiar with the box itself. The box has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different surfaces. And each one has a different purpose. And so you're not getting deep into what the whole strategy of marketing is, but you're just enjoying the box for a few days. Then you also are talking about, well, who is this targeted for? Is this box targeted for a 2-year-old? No, it's targeted for someone like me that loves great taste and loves just a little bit of sweet with their breakfast. But you start talking about who is the audience, who is the target market for this project or for this box, right? And what are the types of things that this person, whoever that target would be, what would be important to them? So you're just talking about these things. You can talk about whether or not the company used real pictures or illustrations. You can talk about whether or not there are any fun activities on this box. There aren't. There are some boxes that have quizzes and mazes and all kinds of fun things, even like scanner codes that'll bring you to a website, that'll get you to play a game, to pitch you something else. So look at what's on the box. Is there anything to hold your attention while you're eating that box? The next thing on our little cheat sheet, so these are the types of things that you can do with your kids. So were there any activities on the box? The next thing, if I can get my finger to go right, how many math and measurements are on the box? So you can talk about what unit of measure is used. Do they emphasize anything in particular? So like when I look at this box, it talks about the weight of the box in ounces. My camera's backwards. In ounces. So you can talk about, gosh, is that more or less than a pound? Are there any other highlighted, over here, 42 grams of whole grains. So you can talk about different types of math and measurements. Then this is the type of activity that you would do, the setup for the activity. You do over the course of a few days, 3-4 days, where you're talking about activities and math, and now you're looking for what's the most surprising thing on the box. From there, your kids get to design their own cereal box. And so inside that packet that I have for you, there's a brainstorming sheet where they can talk about, well, who would be their target audience? Would they, or their target customer for their cereal? Would it be themselves, so whatever age they're at? Would it be grandma or dad or their little siblings or whoever has the most money? Maybe it's cereal for billionaires. But they'll spend a day not worrying about spelling or punctuation. You don't worry about these things in drafting and brainstorming. You just brain dump ideas. And they start to get an idea of who their ideal customer is. That's one day. The next day, you come back and you're talking about all about the cereal. So they'll brainstorm what the cereal would be made of, what are the clearest health benefits, what are the top 3 ingredients, what does it taste like? Because if I look at my cereal right here, it talks about it being a granola, but it also talks about basic ingredients. But on the back, it shows those ingredients and it uses words like satisfying and crunch and genuine and enjoy. My finger wants to go the other way, and enjoy. So as your kids are designing their own cereal box, you're going to be thinking about words that would describe whatever their cereal is. And then they get to actually sketch their box. Oh, I would definitely pull out some wrapping paper or butcher paper and trace a box on there, but have them design all the different parts of their, get my arm out of the way, all the different parts of the box. And then what you do is you take their box of cereal, you take their cereal out. Once they have it all drafted and sketched, you pop the box open carefully. Dun, dun, dun. And this is a project that might take 2 weeks, maybe more, depending on how deep you go into the things that you're going to be adding on the box. Let your kids run with this. I promise you it's worth it at the end. So then you just carefully open up the box completely. Okay, so there's your box. And then you just do the folds back in the opposite direction. And the kids are exercising so many skills with this one. They are looking at who is a target audience. What is the purpose of that writing? Is there any specialized vocabulary that they need in order to pitch their cereal? Did you hear that? The 3 no-nos of writing. Who's the audience? What's the purpose? And is there any specialized vocabulary? So now you take your box and you simply reassemble it inside out. You just, well, you don't do it yet, but you can see that you can take that same box of cereal that you got at the store, and they're going to be able to design their own box. So it starts with understanding on that sketch form. It starts with understanding which piece is what, and they sketch it out, and then they design it with the box laid flat. So they design all the different parts that are going to be on the exterior. And then when you're all done, you can fold it up and you just glue it back together, and they end up with their own creative cereal box. So if you do this right, by getting a box of cereal that they don't usually get to put their hands on, you enjoy it. You spend a couple days just talking about what's on the box. Oh, if you need to rent a teenager next door to make it seem cool, or at your local church, do it. Bribe them with special cereal, have them come enjoy breakfast, and have them ask the kids questions that are on the box of the cereal. All it takes sometimes is to have a cool kid show up and make it seem like it's an okay thing for you to do. So you've talked about all the different parts of writing, the knowing the purpose of the writing, to market to a customer, to know the audience, who is it for, to know specialized vocabulary like crunch, squish, snap, crackle, pop, right? These are vocabulary words used to grab a target audience. But then you're also talking about creative marketing and how you use the different parts of a space to communicate whatever message that you want to communicate to your kids. And then finally, you just get to enjoy arts and crafts and a little bit of geometry as you're learning about things like rectangular prisms. Now, these are not hard, fast lessons. Take them as the reins and do something super creative with them. And then inside there, you're also going to find 31 creative things that you can do with the cereal box when you're done. Because, recycle, repurpose, reuse. And then there's also a link that'll direct you to my Heart of Homeschooling class. So that's what I have for you today. How to make homeschooling more fun. Number 1, slow down. Number 2, make a trip to the grocery store and get a box of funky cereal. Number 3, explore that box of cereal together over the course of a few days and lead your kids into an activity where they get to design their own box of cereal. Now, the really ramp up extension that you can do for this is you can research how to make cereal at home. I know I make granola at home, so you can research how to make your own cereal and see if you can take a basic cereal design and give your kids some creative elbow room in the kitchen so that they can design their own cereal by adding their favorite nut or dried fruit or spice like a cinnamon or a nutmeg, or be creative and let them go with it, because this is one of those starting from an idea of, well, what can I do? And you end up with this finished project of this is how I would market this thing that I created for my target audience. And then they will be fully able to communicate as they're holding their cereal box when it's done. They'll be able to communicate who it was for, why they chose the images and the words that they chose on there. And they will have gone through the entire writing process too, of brainstorming, drafting, and polishing. So anyway, that's my fun activity for today. Make your own cereal box activity with your kids. Go ahead and grab your copy in the descriptions below, and I will see you next time.